Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. What I'm about to tell you is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing and potentially game-changing rumors in recent Steelers history. It's not every day you see a move that could redefine the division and give Pittsburgh a serious edge heading into the upcoming season. And trust me, this one has a lot of layers to unpack. It's all centered around the Indianapolis Colts and a name that's been making waves, Sauce Gardner. Yes, you heard that right. Sauce Gardner, the shutdown cornerback from the Colts, who's been establishing himself as one of the top defensive backs in the league, could be on the move, and it's not just a pipe dream anymore. The buzz is intense, and the whispers in Indy suggest that the Colts are entertaining the idea of trading Gardner for a hefty package of draft picks, including 2 first-rounders. Now let's break down what this really means. The Colts, sitting at 0-3 in 2025 and struggling mightily on defense, especially in the secondary, are reportedly eyeing a rebuild. Their pass defense has been atrocious, allowing an average of 280 yards per game through the air, which is disastrous at this level. It's a clear sign that their secondary needs a complete overhaul, and trading away a player of Gardner's caliber could be a part of that plan. The Colts are reportedly looking for premium draft capital, specifically 2 first-round picks, to make this happen. They've got about $15 million in cap space available, which they might use to bolster their offensive line after suffering 10 sacks from Richardson, who's been under constant pressure. It's a classic rebuild move, and from Pittsburgh's perspective, it could be an absolute game-changer. Imagine this: Gardner, a player who's been a lockdown corner in 2025 with 15 pass defenses, 2 interceptions, a 35% completion allowed rate, a 92, 1 PFF grade, and an EPA per target of -0.18. That's elite stuff right there. His career totals include 8 interceptions and 45 pass defenses with a PFF grade of 94, and the best part: 0 injuries in 2025, a stark contrast to 2024 when he suffered an ankle injury. Gardner's impact on a team's defense is clear. He's the kind of player who can turn a defense from average to shutdown mode almost overnight. His numbers this season are reminiscent of Jalen Ramsey's trade value back in 2019, which drastically elevated the Rams' secondary and resulted in 12 more interceptions that year. That's the kind of impact we're talking about. Now, the Colts are reportedly skeptical about losing Gardner, but the temptation of acquiring 2 first-round picks and possibly more assets might be too much to ignore. Without him, their defense has already taken a nosedive by around 25%, and their rebuild in the AFC South looks uncertain at best. That's where the Steelers come into play. Pittsburgh, with a 2-1 record, is already flying high, but adding someone like Gardner could elevate their secondary even further, while the Steelers have Porter Jr., who's been solid with an 88. 7 PFF grade and 3 picks in 2025. Adding a true shutdown corner like Gardner could be the final piece that pushes them deep into the playoffs. Think about the possibilities. A defense that already benefits from turnovers, averaging +1. 5 takeaways per game could turn into a real fortress with Gardner patrolling the backfield. And let's not forget the strategic implications. Gardner's presence in the Steelers' secondary would mean more man-to-man coverage, over 28% of snaps, locking down top receivers and extending coverage deep. His ability to limit yards after catch, with a projected -15% allowed, would make it even harder for opposing offenses to move the ball efficiently. This would give the Steelers' defense an even greater edge in high-stakes matchups, especially against top-tier quarterbacks and prolific pass-catching threats. Plus, with Dante Jackson's injury in Week 3, the Steelers are already shuffling their depth chart, and adding Gardner would provide much-needed stability and elite coverage skills. What's truly fascinating here is the potential impact on the playoff picture, especially with Super Bowl odds shifting in favor of the Steelers if they land Gardner. Current odds are around +1-200, but if they pull off this trade, some bookmakers might see them as serious contenders, possibly dropping odds to around +500. Gardner's ability to be an X-factor in the postseason, especially against elite wide receivers, cannot be overstated. His track record shows he's a player who steps up when it matters most. Post-2023, he's allowed 0 touchdowns against top-tier receivers, making him a nightmare for offenses planning to target him. This move, should it happen, would echo the impact of Ramsey's trade in 2019, which helped the Rams become a defensive powerhouse and significantly improved their interception totals. The Steelers, always looking to add talent and build a championship-caliber roster, would be smart to consider this kind of upgrade. A secondary featuring Porter Jr. and Gardner would be one of the best in the league, capable of shutting down the league's most dangerous passing attacks. And with the AFC North heating up, especially with the Ravens and Bengals always in the mix, having a shutdown corner could be the difference in clinching that playoff spot and making a real Super Bowl run. Of course, this is all speculation for now, but the signs are pointing towards a possible blockbuster deal. The Colts are rebuilding, and they're probably eager to get something substantial in return for Gardner. The Steelers are always aggressive when it comes to adding talent. Remember how they acquired Minkah Fitzpatrick and T.J. Watt, so a trade for Sauce Gardner wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility. It would be a bold move, but one that could pay off big time, especially considering Pittsburgh's current trajectory and the desire to contend for another Lombardi. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this potential trade could shift the balance of power in the AFC North. The division is already fierce, with the Ravens boasting a dominant defense and Bengals always ready to strike with their explosive offense. But adding a player like Gardner could tilt the scales in favor of the Steelers, giving them that extra edge needed to dominate in the secondary and make life miserable for opposing quarterbacks. It's the kind of move that could define the 2025 season and beyond, making the Steelers not just playoff contenders, but serious Super Bowl contenders. So as we sit here pondering this possibility, one thing's clear: the Steelers fans should be paying close attention in the coming weeks. A potential blockbuster trade involving Sauce Gardner could become the talk of the NFL and could propel Pittsburgh into a new level of competitiveness. It's exciting, it's bold, and it's exactly the kind of move that could bring a new chapter of success to the Steel City. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster move? Do you think the Steelers should go all in and try to acquire Sauce Gardner? Would it be worth giving up those first-round picks? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned and stay passionate. The upcoming season promises a lot, and with moves like this potentially on the horizon, the Steelers could be on the verge of something truly special. Keep the faith, because the best is yet to come for Pittsburgh.